Hello class, and welcome to day 2 of section 10.5, where we are going to use the distance formula to help us find the perimeter of shapes. So again, quick refresher, the distance formula that we can find between 2 points is distance is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So when we're trying to find the perimeter, we're going to need to find the distance of each side. So in this case, we're going to need the distance of side JK, side JL, and side LK. I'm going to start by looking at side JK. So what I like to do here is use whatever point is listed second as my x2 and the first point as my x1. So I'm going to say x1, y1, and x2, y2. So when I plug that information in, I'm going to have x2, which is 1, minus x1, which is 3, squared, plus y2, which is negative 3, minus 0, squared. Then I'm going to go ahead and solve that. So 1 minus 3 is negative 2, squared is positive 4, plus negative 3 minus 0 is negative 3, squared is 9. So we are looking at the square root of 13. And when you type that into the calculator, you're going to get 3.61. So that's how long side JK is. Next, I'm going to look and find side JL. Again, I'm going to label my points x1, y1, and x2, y2. We're going to plug into the distance formula, and when I do that, I'm going to get x2, which is negative 2, minus x1, which is 3, squared, plus y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is 0, squared. Solving my pieces now, I've got negative 2 minus 3, which is negative 5, squared is 25, plus 4 minus 0 is 4, squared is 16. Adding 25 and 16, you are looking at the square root of 41, and when you type that into the calculator, that's going to give you 6.40 after rounding. Then we need to do our last side, which is going to be side KL. So I'm going to label x1, y1, and x2, y2. And when I plug that in, I am going to get x2, which is negative 2, minus x1, which is 1, squared, plus y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is negative 3, squared. When we simplify, we've got negative 2 minus 1, which is going to be negative 3, squared is 9, plus 4 minus negative turns into a positive, so 4 plus 3 squared, which is going to give me 7 squared, which is 49. So we are now looking at the square root of 58 after I do my addition, which is going to give me 7.62. Then to find your perimeter, you're going to go ahead and say perimeter is equal to the first side, which is 3.61, plus the second side, which is 6.40, plus that third side, which is 7.62. Which means that your perimeter is going to be 17.63. We don't have a label, so we're just going to leave it as 17.63. All right, in order to have you try this one on your own, I'm going to have you walk through it piece by piece. So first, I want you to find side JK. Your answer for that is 7.07. Now I want you to find side JL. Your answer for that one is also 7.07. And finally, I want you to find side KL. Your answer for that is 6.32. Now I want you to go ahead and find the final perimeter. When you add all of those up, you're going to get a perimeter of 20.46. So that's finding the perimeter of a triangle. We are going to take it one step further and find the perimeter of a quadrilateral. Now, in this case, it doesn't give us a picture to look at. So how do we know what sides we need to find? The key with that is going to be looking at the name of the shape. So the first side is going to be AB. So I'm going to use X1 and Y1 and X2 and Y2. So for side AB, I'm going to have the square root of X2, which is 7, minus X1, which is -3, squaring that, plus Y2, which is 5, minus Y1, which is 3, squared. So we've got 7 minus negative, which turns into a positive. So 7 plus 3 is 10, squared is 100, plus 5 minus 3, which is 2, squared is 4. So we are looking at the square root of 104, which is going to give us an answer of 10.20. The next thing, based on the name, is we're going to find side BC. So B becomes X1, Y1, and C is now X2, Y2. So for side BC, I'm looking at the square root of 6 minus 7 squared plus -4 minus 5 squared. When I do 6 minus 7, that's -1. Squaring it is +1. -4 minus 5 is -9. Squaring that is +81. So I am looking for the square root of 82, which is going to give me 9.06. Our next side that we are going to look at, again, based on the name, is going to be side CD. So I've got X1, Y1, and X2, Y2. So for side CD, I'm looking at the square root of -2 minus 6 squared plus 7 minus -4 squared. That should be a -7 minus -4. And then as I simplify, I've got -2 minus 6, which is -8, squared is 64, then -7 plus 4, which is 3, squared is 9. So 64 plus 9 gives me the square root of 73, which is going to give me an answer of 8.54. Then that last side of the quadrilateral is going to wrap around. So DA. So we're looking now at side DA. So we've got X1, Y1, and X2, Y2. So we're going to start with our square root. And we've got X2, which is -3, minus X1, which is -2, squared, plus Y2, which is 3, minus Y1, which is -7, squared. Simplifying, -3, that turns into a +2, is going to give me -1, squared is 1, plus 3 plus 7 is 10, squared is 100. So we are looking at the square root of 101, which is going to give me an answer of 10.05. Again, now we need to find our final perimeter here. And for that, we are going to add up our data points. So 10.20 plus 9.06 plus 8.54 plus 10.05, and that is going to give you an answer of 37.85 as the perimeter of this quadrilateral. Again, as I have you try this one on your own, I'm going to have you do this step by step. So first, I want you to find side AB. 8.06 is your answer there. Now we're going to find side BC. Your answer for that is 7.28. Moving on to side CD, go ahead and try that one. We get an answer of 5.10. And lastly, go ahead and find DA. For that answer, you're going to get 5.83. Now you're going to take those answers and find the perimeter. When you find the perimeter, you're going to get 26.27. If you have questions about this or anything else from the lesson, please feel free to reach out and let me know.